I don't care. I don't want to see some centaur fuck like a fairy or like who wants to always see that. That
sounds painful.
And then Hollywood
it sounds painful.
It's like
on the other side, it doesn't
fandom.
sound very exciting for the centaur if he's the one getting fucked.
Yeah, it depends. It was
Does
just
a centaur have a horse penis or a man penis?
I didn't give it that much thought.
Sometimes you just don't need to answer the questions, you know? Like,
That's true. That's
Yes.
true. Well, hold on. Like, what?
Hold up.
It's very. This is not even a question that takes that much answer. It was obvious that a centaur would have a horse cock. Okay, I don't know. They're magical creatures. I don't know. But like centaurs' entire fucking lower half of their body are like that. Of course, it would be a horse cock. Oh, what are we talking about? I don't know. I don't think about it. I don't think about it either. But it takes 1 second of critical thought to be like, okay, that's where the dick would be.
Half hour in and about 15 minutes, the show's been peanuts.
Yeah, it's not up to your standards, huh?
It's rookie numbers. I mean,
yeah. Predator. Everybody loved it. It's a huge hit, guys.
Oh, that international is terrible. Whoa.
That hasn't updated
okay,
yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
It updates once a week, the international.
So the international will probably match it, or was it tracking a little above?
It was. I mean, it was just a smidgen below domestic, but pretty much identical.
Yeah, that's not looking good. So Predator Badlands was being, and I have my theories on this. I always have conspiracy theories that I think that they kept those estimates. I think they shot out low estimates. I think they were all in on the game to shoot out some throw out some low estimates because you just had the worst fucking month you as an industry for 27 years. And you got a movie that's tracking pretty decent, but not spectacular. And like, let's make it a little lower. You know, because everybody's focusing on the 25, but it was 25 to 30, correct, Odin? That was the original estimate. Yeah. So 25 to 30. Say the original estimate was probably like 35. Still think it overperformed. I still absolutely think it overperformed, and I think it's being a little over celebrated. It is mid. It is a mid fucking movie. We've had nothing but mid fucking movies this year. So it's arguing over: is it a 4 out of 10 or is it a 7 out of 10? That's all we're arguing over.
Garrett, you're saying the movie has Raylo energy. The movie doesn't have Raylo energy. No,
Garrett
the audience,
said
the fucking loser queer retards out there that are reviewing it and desperately looking for that. They're the ones that are trying to give it Raylo energy. That's
correct,
weird
correct.
shit.
Oh, they're winning. They are winning. I think the perception is absolutely their perception. And I completely agree with you, Ryan. But I could see they've been shot so much shit on Reddit and everything that the whole thing about being the runt of the litter is considered queer coded now. Like,
oh man,
that is so retarded.
I'm still hearing that he's gay and that there's a romance in it and all this stuff, and I'm like, who's saying this about the film? There are legitimate points of criticism. You can criticize the film. I made them myself, even though I liked it. But then there's just this whole huge ball of bullcrap people are saying about it, which is just
they're imprinting their own kinks onto the movie. Like the movie is sterile. It is sterile.
Yeah.
Well, it's the problem is that we have this like morning glory milking farm culture when it comes to look, another creature I want to go have sex with. Yeah. And that's what a lot of these people are imprinting on this stupid movie.
I must have missed that in my shop. Okay, so around the era of my shop was like the Greg Horn cover, right, Mike? So big tits. You know, like painted cover, hot chick cover. So we'd go, that chick's hot. That's hot. That's hot. But we'd never go, God, I really want to see I want to see Polaris fuck Cyclops, or like it's like nobody was having that conversation, but they're having it a lot online, like a lot.
Thanks, anime.
No, anime did not ruin fandom. Twilight ruined fandom. I can make a video about that.
50 Shades of Grey ruined it.
Fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
As a whole,
At one point, you had people that went, "Hey, I really like this thing, Star Trek. I'm going to write my own stories about Star Trek because it's cool," or whatever. And then that slowly got filled with people that went, "I really want to see these two characters have sex, so I'm going to write about them." And then they got mad at the people that were like, "That's really dumb. I don't want to hear about that." So like when you go like through Tumblr or Reddit or any of these things, it's just feeds upon feeds of these people screaming from the top of their lungs, "I want these two characters to have sex." They're not actually indicative of actual fandom because they don't know anything typically about the lore or the actual setting. They just know about the characters that they care about.
Exactly.
And
hang on, I think we're uncovering something. We're uncovering something important here. I'm not sure it's people, Mike, that are wanting to, you know, make these types of fan fiction. I think it's women.
Well, yeah, it's primarily
Okay. So
it is 99% women.
Well,
but here's the thing: when Arrow got really bad. When Arrow got really bad and they were doing all the stuff with Felicity and Friends and all that stuff, Mark Guggenheim actually got caught on like Reddit threads, or it wasn't Reddit, it was like some other forum threads, talking to these people. And it became very apparent that he was appealing to that fan base because he thought it was really cool and that they really enjoyed it.
A little more than that.
He loved the feedback they were getting about it.
I don't know if you guys have seen this on Twitter. It's been floating around. The new Adventure Time show that's just about the girl version of Finn. They took a show that was for boys about adventure and friendship and, you know, stories or whatever, and they made a girl version of it. Well, the girl version is just about her partying and having sex with people, and it's a more of an adult show, but like that's the angle they took with it.
Yeah. Well, and that
Like,
character,
everything.
That character's in the show Adventure Time as a
There's a
fanfic.
bridge, yeah.
Shitty, it's supposed to be a joke on shitty fanfic. And then somebody was like, yeah, but I actually really like that. And so now the audience that they're appealing to are the people that got wrapped up in that shit and are writing that kind of garbage on the internet. You know, they also, by the end of that show, were appealing to, like, you know, trying to put all these different characters together and make all these couplings and stuff. You could see it, like, slowly, like, you know, slide into these fandoms, and then they get so vocal, and these people listen to them, and it's like, dude, what are we doing, man?
It used to just be Tumblr, and it was everyone was all on Tumblr. They were all going around, and then when they banned adult content because they wanted to get like sell it out and become mainstream and everything, they went to all the other platforms, and suddenly it became mainstream because it appeared like it was everywhere.
That's when fandom did start splitting, but its origins go, okay, fan fiction is, a lot of people say it started with slash fiction, which was what Mike brought up, which is Star Trek, which was some old pervert woman who wanted to see Spock fuck Kirk all the time.
Yeah.
And she wrote about it, and like I think people mailed away for it. This was way back in the day. Now, fan fiction predates that. People were writing Superman stories and Batman stories and Shadow stories forever.
Yep.
But when it started hitting the forums prior to Tumblr, what led to Tumblr was forums. This was all, and they were confined to their own forums, which was fine. That was totally fine. Be over there in your forum where people are invited in. But it's when they started getting out in the wild and they wanted to treat the wild like their forum and started kicking everybody out. That's where a lot of like fan hate came in, and the term toxic fandom came up when people are going, fuck that. That's what we're seeing all over Twitter is like cute little pictures, and then freaking the Predator making out with the synth, you know, and it is the fan. There is a Raylo fandom out there for this movie that will probably disappear. I don't know. Are you looking at the numbers for today? We're going to get Friday to Friday drop. I can't.
Here's the reality. This movie did not open spectacularly well. I think it opened okay, right?
Okay, yeah.
It didn't open spectacularly well. It opened on par with Alien vs. Predator from 21 years ago. Almost exactly the same numbers without adjusting for inflation. Yep. Right? And if it tracks similarly to Alien vs. Predator, that means it would have about $170 million box office run. That would be a catastrophic flop and failure for a movie that just the production budget is over $100 million, right? Mm-hmm. So it needs to hold well. It needs to do well. I don't particularly think it will. And to cap off the entire like shipping, whatever, it is obvious that there's a demand for that type of stuff from some people.
Sure.
The question is, should you bring that in to pre-established franchise with a pre-existing fan base? The answer is no, you absolutely should not. If you want to go out and create Twilight and have it be a massive success, there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's your own thing. You're creating your own thing. If you... They didn't do it in the movie, which is the frustrating part, but to do that and put it into a genre or a thing that already has a pre-existing fan base that people are expecting a certain tone, that's retarded and makes no sense.
Yeah. The reason I didn't like the movie wasn't because that stuff was in there. It was because Disney stuff was in there. And it was a little more subtle, not much, than previous. It was male protagonist. This time it's just male creature protagonist who is pretty much guided by 1 to 2 female characters, in one instance 3, with fighting a female villain, which is Doctor Strange mom, Shang-Chi, Black Panther. I mean, and I could name more. Moon Knight. Like that's their formula, and it was very recognizable. And the other thing is, Predator came. It came from a time, but Prey came from Fox, right? I can't remember if Predator started with Fox, but Fox was a very different company who approached things. They lots of swings, lots of misses, but they took chances, and they were pretty normal with their stuff. As critical as I was, I love the X-Men movies, but I hated that they were in black leather. I fucking hated that shit. But they still made pretty good movies. And then, one would suck, and then they'd come back and, come back with a Deadpool or First Class and Days of Future Past, and then shit the bed with Apocalypse. But like, they at least took chances, and some of their movies were fun. And because of that, they'll have more memorable movies. You will miss fucking Fox X-Men. You probably already do by the time Disney gets to them. And the loss of Fox is huge. Disney fucking up everything. We're going to get to a story about Disney. Like, they have just given up. They have just given the fuck up.
And Badlands too. It's also like the way it's opened, it's even behind Alien Romulus as far as like its domestic opening too. And the difference is that Alien Romulus at least had like a massive international box office, and this just ain't showing it. And I looked into it. It's not. It's yet to. It's released in all the international markets that it's going to release into. So there's no like China or any other market that's going to save it down the line. So this thing is looking to be an abysmal failure, both domestically and internationally too. And the people out there who are like, "Oh, this film doesn't need to make X amount of money to break even." It's always funny to hear people become box office experts when it's convenient.
When it is, and the bottom line with the Disneyfication is, anytime there is something somewhat masculine, they have to pad it. They have to pad it with female characters, and that's a fucking producer. That's not a creative decision. That is a decision that comes from HR, from producers.
It's a mandate.
It's a woman date.
A woman date.
Yeah, woman date.
I think all that goes hand in hand, though. When you say that one stuff didn't annoy you, but the Disney stuff did, all that comes as a package because it depends who your target audience is. Yep. And if you do put the Disney stuff in, then you're going to attract the people that want to add all the romance in the first place.
And if it was a one-off and it hadn't happened in 20 different movies or TV shows in the last 5 years, we'd probably go, But it's just the same thing over and over again. So for coming out and saying that it's like something different, sure, you made the littlest predator team up with his robot girlfriend and a cute little alien creature in a Disney movie. Okay, I guess that's different. Thank you. Come on. It's a movie made to have pop vinyls made for it. That's what it is.
Yeah. There's no one in Disney to go, well, that's clearly nonsense. If you did this, it would appeal to a different audience. They all agree with the same thing. And so they all think that that's the deeper, more mature way to make a movie. They will find out that firing everyone they disagreed with was the worst thing those companies ever could have done. And they don't know how to go back.
If they really want to do like a fanfic version, they should do like rewrite the movie so that instead of the Synth's upper half, he just finds her lower half.
Finally, the useful bit.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.